First, it didn't look good in game 3. Yeah, you got the San Antonio Spurs, Oklahoma City Thunder. Yes, OKC wins game 2. Okay, they were supposed to win game 2 after Wemby went nuclear in game 1. That's fine. San Antonio goes up to 15-0. Like, oh my gosh, here we go. They're going to blow out the Thunder, and this series is going to be over in 5. And from there on, Oklahoma City blows them out, shuts them down defensively. Jared McCain comes off the bench, does his thing. This is all despite missing Jalen Williams. And then in game 4, Victor Wembanyama is like, yeah, no. We are not losing 2 straight home games to go down 3-1 in the series with game 5 in Oklahoma City. And we make sure that would not be the case. 33 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 blocks, which is low for Wemby. 11 of 22 from the field, 3 of 7 from 3-point range, 8 of 9 for the free throw line. Did all of that in 31 minutes. Part of that because the Spurs blew out the Thunder, so he didn't have to play a ton of minutes. And also because of the fact that the Spurs throughout the season, game 1 being the exception, they've managed Wemby's minutes. They don't want to overdo it. Listen, he is 7'3", 7'4" tall. He is a different body, to say the very least. There's a lot of contact that he could potentially deal with in the series. That was, a discussion after game 2, and they want to play this as conservatively as they can. But when they unleash him, and you saw there were moments in that game in the first half where Oklahoma City's playing, by their standards, an awful first half offensively. Shea's bad. We'll get to Shea later in the segment. But it's like, okay, we're down 9. We're up 2-1 in the series. We're down 9. If we can make a big push in the third quarter, play some great defense, now we're in good shape to go win the basketball game. And then Wemby's like, yeah, heck with that. I'm just going to nail a half quarter at the buzzer, which felt like it's weird to say dagger into the first half dagger. What, they didn't put him up 25, put him up 12. That's a more than reasonable deficit in the NBA, especially with some of the injuries that San Antonio's dealing with. I'm hearing the excuses. Oh, Oklahoma City's without J-Dub and AJ Mitchell. That's a real thing, but De'Aaron Fox, who I'm a huge fan of, and all these guys, Dylan Harper, they don't look 100%. Dylan Harper had the amazing game 1, got hurt in game 2, maybe came back too early. It is the Western Conference Finals. That's part of the deal, but hasn't looked like the same player since, and we know Fox missed the first 2 games of the series. Like, Wemby's carrying a lot on his back and was fantastic in the face of adversity. And so you give San Antonio credit. And again, you keep coming back to, okay, wait a second. These teams have played, 9 times this season, and Spurs won 6 of them. Like they've been the far better team, between these 2 teams this season. And I think it does go to show you a big story for Oklahoma City throughout the season. A big reason that many thought that they were going to go back-to-back, and they still very well could go back-to-back. This is a best-of-3 series at this point, and OKC's got home court. But it's the depth. It's the, oh my gosh, all the bodies they can throw at you, where it's last night, okay, they're missing 2 bodies, but feels like they can have some reinforcements to step up for them, especially given the fact that J-Dub missed big portions of this year. Now, you can say AJ Mitchell was the guy that stepped up for him, particularly, in the Lakers series, but he's a rookie. Like, he's on like the best contract in the NBA based on his production value. You still have Shea. You still have Chet, who's having an awful series by any measure whatsoever, who we'll get to later on. But for San Antonio, it's a credit to coaching. It's a credit to Wemby showing that aggressive mentality. And again, like when San Antonio's starting to build this lead, it's like, okay, but they were up big in the first half of game 3, and then it kind of fell apart for them in the second half. They kept their foot in the gas pedal. Wemby talked about this after the game, kind of finishing the job.
I feel like we, as with who we are, we need to start games like this. But it really doesn't mean anything for the way it holds. I mean, it helps for sure, but it's a whole nother type of effort to be consistent rather than just hitting first.
And that's one of the reasons that I love Wemby and so many others do, is like just that sort of stay focused. Again, I don't want to overuse the word or the term Mamba mentality, but like it's a little Kobe-esque, right? Like just kind of it doesn't matter. It's on the next possession, head down, attack the matchups we got to attack in order to put ourselves in good position. And it was, I think for San Antonio, and we don't, it's not a sexy term to use, but it's not a word we use enough in pro sports, is culture. I mean, we just don't use it enough. When you look at all across major American professional sports, like that's what wins. If you look at the LA Dodgers, they're talented. Yeah, we've seen a bunch of talented baseball teams. The Boston Red Sox a decade ago, my gosh, were they talented. They were horribly run upstairs, and that's why they fell apart after 2018. where he's got the LA Dodgers, amazing ownership, great manager, and Dave Roberts, good front office. They're willing to spend the money in a no salary cap league. Like, that's where the Dodgers are who they are. The Kansas City Chiefs, oh, it's just Mahomes. No, it's Andy Reid, and it's some of those defensive guys who they've drafted well. Brett Veach, the GM, the ownership group in Kansas City. Like, it's a collaborative effort. And even when you look in San Antonio, Mitch Johnson, who's done a really, really good job as the head coach of his team, Mitch Johnson is the official head coach, but it still feels like Greg Popovich, God bless him, he's dealt with a lot in terms of his health, is still kind of almost like the godfather, like the commanding force, like almost like the way Pat Riley is for the Heat. That's kind of how he is with the Spurs. Listen to what De'Aaron Fox said after the game about what Pop did after the Spurs kind of fell apart in some ways in the second half of Game 3.
Before you get out of here, has Pop, with you being down 2-1, or even before the series, has Pop come in that locker room say he needs some nastiness out of y'all? Some nasty?
Yeah, you play here. You play here. We lost Game 3, and I think that was Pop's been around like throughout the course of the season, but that was the first time he walked into the locker room and was like, "Nah, that's BS. That's not how we play basketball." And obviously, he has some choice words for it, but that was the first time all season that he came into the locker room right after a game and told us how he felt.
I'm telling you, like he still, even to this day, has a presence, a voice that still holds a lot of weight in that locker room in San Antonio. Even though he didn't coach most of the guys who were on that team, he did coach Wemby briefly for Wemby's rookie year, but that's pretty much it. So credit to the Spurs. That was, I don't want to say it was a culture win so much as it was because the thing is, outside of Wemby, the other guys didn't play crazy well. It was a matter of great defense, shutting down SGA once again for the second time in the series, and Wemby doing Wemby things, hitting half-court shots, driving the basket. Like, it's funny. Shout out to my man Arthur Hurst at the Grib. He texted. He was like, man, into the first half, San Antonio's the bonus, and Wemby shooting threes. What is he doing? It's like, well, he can. he can. Like, it may not. For most guys, it's like, yeah, attack the basket, get to the free throw line, rack up fouls on OKC. But Wemby's like, yeah, I can shoot. I'm a good three-point shooter. And so credit to the Spurs. It's a 2-2 series. And listen, home court favors Oklahoma City. Both teams are beat up, so that's kind of canceled out. But I had Spurs in 7 coming in. So with the 2-2 series, that kind of feels like where it's going. I don't see either the Spurs or Oklahoma City winning 2 straight. If it's one of them, I would pick pick San Antonio to do that. They'll have to win one more road game in the series in order to win the series. I think they will. Thanks so much for watching the show on YouTube, and be sure to go click that big red subscribe button and check out the other clips and full shows from Carving It Up Live, as well as our other incredible content creators here on the Grid Network.